Time of the day, guys. I'm gonna have a take minute and make sure everything works fine. We try and improve. We are adjusting our setup. We are adjusting our preparation. So the goal for today's video is going to be hopefully around 45 minutes, so we can cover everything with this time range. And I just make sure my camera is running. And also, if you could give me a huge favor, comment when we're in the booth, because I'm still trying to find even further. I know it's not terrible, but I feel like we can make it better, the noise. So there's a few filters I can use here in my software for noise cancellation. I feel like last time I used one of those filters and it made it kind of weird, that even my voice was almost, it was trying to cancel some of this things in my voice, but let's see how it goes. I'll be actually listening to myself through the live feed here. I just need to put the speaker in my ear, but let's take my setup. Let's take this thing, let's take a camera, and let's go to the spray booth where hopefully Dan is already preparing for us. And I won't make any walk-arounds of the office. I know some people are requesting it, but not today, just because again we're trying to put it in the right format, make sure we can do it fast enough. Improving. It's going to be a little shaky now for a ride, but one of the improvements, actually, I have this thing now, so this is really important. We have the on-air thing, so we actually on-air, so I'll put it right there. I know it's silly, it doesn't make anything, but we have it, so I'm just going to share this. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about Chrome and how to apply it, and answering all the questions you'll have, and hopefully showing you how to do it the proper way, because I know last time I did a video how to do things improperly. This is my style kind of thing, but also from the announcement. So Dan is right there. Let me do it this way better. And he's, you can see, writing this cool shirt. We finally have them on the website, so with this sticker as well. So stickers also on the website, you can get it for $1, but also tell you a secret, if you leave a nice comment to our shippers, they usually see it. Not always, I cannot guarantee it, but usually see it, and they can just throw it to your order for free. But before we get to Chrome, I want to follow up on the video from the last week, the video we did last week. So you see Dan is like really prepared. He got the whole setup here, the new compressor. I don't know why there's some, you're just showing off this custom creative stuff, right? It's not.
Yeah, you know, they got a full library of stuff. So.
Okay, I'll put microphone on him just in a minute, so it'll be mostly Dan today. So anything goes wrong, he's one to blame. So I don't have to be the one doing stuff today. I'll just be a cameraman. But as I promised, so last time we did the aluminum, and we'll show the difference between the chrome and aluminum paint today, or aluminium. This was directly to the plastic, so I didn't do any preparation. It was a matte helmet. I didn't even scrub it, like nothing. I just put some degreaser on it, and we got it painted. And this was proper automotive kind of hood. I did a boo-boo to it, so I kind of put another coat over to make sure this is not as visible, but there's a boo-boo in it if you see, because last time I tried to test it and it was still so wet, so we were not prepared for it. But this guy looks great, look at it. We'll try to peel all those tapes I have on it, and I put it over the edge there just to make sure, because some of you might know this is like the easiest one to really peel it off, and it's been here for a couple hours, so some scratch there, but yeah, there's really nothing left besides some of the residue from the tape. So I guess it was not the best tape. If you brought one of those pro tapes, we should not longer, well, you know what, no, it's not just with this tape. So I guess this is what happens. So it doesn't lift, but somehow it feels like almost it lifts. No, it doesn't. I don't have anything on it. Maybe, yeah, I feel like it lifts a little bit of the really fine top coat of it, so it kind of, you can see where the tape was. And I'm doing it first time, so that's, we'll see all the trouble directly. I have, of course, the duct tape, which you guys should never use as the tape on the paint, but the point is, so it didn't lift any paint itself, I mean from the primer, so it kind of separates, I guess, the paint itself because it's metallic. So you see this, which is not great. Let me see one more thing. Oh, this one is perfect. So this tape, I guess, not so tacky, so lift off without anything, almost there. And let's try the helmet. Again, my biggest point, if the paint gonna come off from the helmet itself. And let's start with the hardest one, and after that I don't really need to lift anything else. So now you see it does lift a little bit of like layering, let's say, layering of the paint itself, but it doesn't lift it from the primer, which means the adhesion is perfect. And if you know, this is durable paint, but it does ruin the look. So if you're going to like really have the tape work over it, what you need to do, you need to put 40-50 first. So as an adhesion test, it's 100% pass. I don't recommend going directly on the plastic. Again, it was my thing, kind of doing it wrong, because it was just directly to a plastic helmet. But even without primer, see, I cannot lift it with a tape, it just stays there. But if you want to have some tape work done over it, like the graphics or anything, you do need to put 40-50 first. So if you put 40-50, it will save the look exactly as it is, and it's not going to ruin your little look here. So this is not a problem as long as you know about it. And if you apply Cretex 40-50 over it, it's going to be transparent, just, you know, US protection coat, and then you can tape whatever you want. But the adhesion is great either directly to your automotive kind of finish or directly into the plastic, as we had with this guy. With that being said, I'm going to pass it to Dan here, and we'll see what we're doing with his plan on the chrome paint. Let me pass you a microphone so we can hear you better.
Oh, we're live?
Oh,
Hold on, Artem. Haven't even done my hair.
you didn't know it's a comment to show you.
Okay. Okay, so you seen Artem, and he did the aluminum effect over there. Well, not effect, you know, it's a paint right out of the bottle. And it's the Chrome Air aluminum. And today we're going for a chrome effect. So not to be confused with the Chrome Air aluminum, even though, you know, there are some videos, and if you spray this over gloss black, it does have a great high shine and luster. So I can see how that happens, and it does have a great look, like similar to maybe like Cretex Quicksilver a little bit. Definitely a lot more opaque and acts more like a base coat. But I just wanted to add that tidbit there a little bit, because a lot of people are seeing it and thinking it's a chrome effect and asking questions about it and stuff like that. So, but as you can see the spread here, we got quite a bit going on. I just want to go through the process and highlight a product that we have by Custom Creative. Now this is the steel chrome effects, if you will. It's a solvent-based product, polyurethane, automotive grade. So similar, if you're familiar with like Tamiya or Mr. Hobby, some of the Cobra paints as well, you know, lacquer-based, lacquer for cleanup, then this is a very similar type of product as well. You definitely want to wear your PPE, respirator, paint suit if you have it, in a closed environment. You want well ventilated areas for this product. You don't just want to be spraying it like a water-based product or something like that. You want to protect yourself. So I'm just going to go over the process a little bit step by step and show you exactly how it's done, because just reading it, sometimes with that many steps, you can be thrown off a little bit or confused or miss a step or something like that. So you can always refer to this video about the process itself. And as you can see, these wonderful samples here pretty much show the end result of the product itself.
Right. And I just want to add that we're not real salesmen. As I mentioned many times, we don't even have a product in stock right now. So we had 2 shows and we had a video we put on, so we sold out whatever we had. We had a good stock and we sold out completely. So what we're doing right now, guys, for you is you have to wait for the pre-order, unfortunately. But we did put in a pre-order, and there's a 25% off code in the chat. So please make sure you enter the codes when you check out, and you can have it at a really, really nice price right now. It's a really good price.
Yeah, jump on it now, folks, because we did have a soft kind of a relaunch with Custom Creative. And so we kind of ordered our usual stock, I would say. And people were waiting on the chrome for so long that it did sell out very quickly. We had a couple conferences, conventions, and most of it went there, and then the rest went on the website. And let's face it, everybody, like chrome is like the holy grail. If you want to spray paint, everyone is looking for a good chrome effect, and there's so many products out there. and there's so many options to choose from. But the thing about Custom Creative is kind of like, there's three things. It's a very good price, it's very inexpensive, it's fairly easy to use, and you can clear over it. That's usually the next biggest question. Everyone's like, oh, let's see with clear on top. Well, this is actually the finished product. This is a 2K clear on top. I did take a little video that will be on the outside of the sunlight, so you can kind of see the mirror effect of it. And this is a completely, from start to finish, sprayed product, and very affordable, in my opinion. And it comes in two sizes. There's a liter can like this, and then I believe the smaller version is a 250 milliliter bottle. If I could get a gallon, and maybe we'll ask them, probably would get a gallon, because you use this for so many different things, right? Everyone is after a great chrome effect. So that being said, let's get to it. I'm gonna start from the basics and go all the way through the entire process. I have raw shapes of everything, as well as the final product for each step as well, so you can see the end result, just to kind of keep the video short and sweet without waiting for everything to dry. Because we are here in Florida, and most products take a little longer to dry sometimes, but it is the middle of summer here, so things do speed up pretty quickly. It's also, if I had to guess, I would say about 140 degrees in here somewhere. No, sorry. Maybe about 85 though, to be honest, probably in here, in this inflatable booth in our warehouse shop.
Yeah, we usually have really nice air-conditioned warehouse here, but not when we run this whole exhaust from the booth. You know, everything kind of warms up at this time.
Yeah, with the ventilation and everything, it does tend to warm up quite a bit. And you know, it is 2 in the afternoon here in Florida in June. So
yeah, let's get to it.
Still June, right? Okay, so I have multiple speed shapes here. The first speed shape here is just raw plastic, good little shapes, just standard speed shape, right? Nothing's been done to it. It's just raw and plastic. Now, some people, depending on the primer you have, you can go direct to the plastic. Lots of things will stick. You can also, because it's just raw plastic like this and it's not gonna need much prepping, you can also get you like a gray Scotch-Brite. I wouldn't go to red. It's probably a little aggressive for plastic like this. So gray would be just fine for something like this. The first thing I would do, which is the #1 step for any type of painting, is applying a wax and grease remover. Now the reason for this is you don't want to you don't want to sand any of the product or contamination that might be on your hands or whatnot into the actual paint, into the actual substrate itself. So speaking of that, you know, the first thing you'd want to do is put some gloves on, because there are lots of greases, contaminations, soaps, cleaners, whatever it might be on your hand throughout the day, on your hands. So the first thing you want to do for most of your projects, if you can, is wax and grease remove it. Oh, where'd this come from? I thought I had that on top of my degreaser here. So just kind of wipe it down. Once you wax and grease remove something, typically it will flash off pretty quick, but you do want to wipe that wax and grease remover back off. A lot of them do tend to leave some residue. So you want to get a clean rag after that and then wipe it one more time just to get any excess residue off there as well. So now that your panel is nice and clean, now you can begin prepping it. Like I said, you can move right onto a primer depending on your project, or you can just give it a little light scuff all around. Make sure you hit all your edges very well. You don't want to miss anything. If you're going to scuff it, you don't want any shiny parts, but you don't need to go too aggressive. You just need to scuff it up lightly to give those micro abrasions and scratches something for your product to bite to. So now that that's done, I'll wipe it down one more time with the wax and grease remover. Maybe blow it off first if you like. One more follow-up step with the clean rag. And then get you some type of air blower and blow off any residue and lint that might be left over. This little pistol air blower here is what I use the most.
This is our new no-name product coming up, and it's already showing it off, huh?
Yeah, it's nice and solid. It has adjustable air. You don't have to go full blast. You can clip it on your shirt or somewhere, wherever you might need it. It's just like your pen. Blow it off anywhere on the inside, your workstation. By the time this video is over, for sure. So now, also, especially with water-based products, sometimes wax and grease remover is not enough. I will also follow up with some isopropyl alcohol. 70% is fine. You don't need to go to 90% or get too aggressive with it. The alcohol is just that super final clean prep and really gets it ready and makes sure there's no other contaminations on there. Alcohol flashes off very fast. You don't really have to go back over that with another clean rag. I've never found the need for it. So the last step in prepping, and like I said, we're going over all the basics, because your paint job is only as good as your prep work, right? So now this is a tack rag. It's just a rag. They spray some glue on it. It's porous. There's some holes in it. You use it for a while and then you get another one. You just throw it away. But what it grabs is the rest of that little lint.
It's also coming as a no-name product, so just so you guys know, we have quite a few products coming this season, this year.
So this, like I mentioned, this will get any leftover residue, lint, stuff like that off your project. So there it is. It's pretty much ready for painting. All right, so now this is my raw speed shape. Depending on your project will determine what type of primer you use on your substrate. For me, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the Titan primer. This is a great primer in an aerosol form, but it doesn't hide any details. I've primed this little skull with it. I've primed minis, Warhammer stuff, multiple different things with this aerosol can, and it doesn't hide any details. It has a great fine mist and works very well and dries really fast also. And it also comes in multiple colors as well. So you can have a complementary color just starting out with your project, especially when I need to go with a black first. So I'll use this for the purpose of the video to keep it short, but you can also use the Createx Autoborne Sealer. This is also a great product which comes in many colors as well. So you could take the sealer, apply 10% of the 4011 reducer, mix that very well, and spray a coat of the sealer on. So now that it's clean and ready.
And running?
Yes. One light coat is really all you need. If you see a small imperfection or something, you could probably go over it again after it flashes. I'll do a 1.5 coat process. Make sure it's nice and covered. And you can see it's already flashing off. This stuff is great, it's smooth, it holds up very well. This is good for resins, plastics. You could do it on bare metal as well. If it's going to be outside or for harsh environments, I would probably etch it with some sort of etching primer. So that's a great way to get started with your project. So here's the final result. This is the primer, nice and dry. It's been laying here, so it's kind of dirty. So see how smooth that is? And it has a nice black base. Good way to get started for your project, knowing you're getting ready to spray some black. So now that we have the black base, the the primer on here, sometimes you can get away with the black primer and just move straight to the clear coat. But sometimes the black just isn't black enough. And for the chrome effect, you could probably get away with it and just clear coat it. But for most other projects, the black primer, maybe out in the sunlight, this is probably not black enough or deep enough. So this is why I would go over top of that with the Custom Creative Deep Black. Now some blacks tend to lean more towards a blue or a brown, maybe a purple-ish kind of a hue. But I've checked this out in the sun, and it has a great deep black, rich look to it, and it doesn't have that tint that some of the blacks have. If you don't have the Custom Creative, you can use the Wicked. I like the Wicked Jet Black. It's the W031. Just mix that with a little bit of 4011, 10, 20%, depending on your airbrush needle size, and spray that on. So I'll go ahead and mix up a little Custom Creative. Now most of their base coats mix 1:1, so it's very easy to remember that. They have their own reducer as well. It comes in different speeds. This one happens to be the fast. That way we can get moving on it. They have a medium, the slow, and they also have an extra slow. So I'll just mix that 1:1. Just give it a little stir. With the Custom Creative, you don't really need it to acclimate to your environment. Once you have it mixed thoroughly, you can pour it right in your gun and spray. If you are using Createx products, it is a water base, and when you add the activator to it, you want to give it like 5-10 minutes or so to acclimate to your environment. That will help it spray way better, and you'll see that come up often in Createx's tech sheets. And I don't want to wait at that moment for that, so I'm just going to go ahead and get going on this. This is a strainer. Very important tool you have in your painter's arsenal. It's a little big for the minigun, but I'll get it in here. This strains out any contaminants, you know, little chunks of paint, something you might have left over in your paint bottle, in the cup itself, any type of debris, things like that. It's just going to give it a cleaner job and make the paint job less susceptible to contamination and debris.
Yeah, there's one thing I didn't pay attention last time when I did the promotion of the minigun in the live video, that we're also out of stock and there's quite a few people already waiting for it. We also got a code for you guys, 20%. We decided to just extend it to it as well, so use the pre-order 20 now to get the best price ever on the minigun. And we're working on this already in the production, I think that's for this week. So it should be ready soon. I gotta make sure we have airdrops on them, because we usually do the ocean shipments with like the whole container, but I'll make sure we airdrop some. I'm not sure exactly when it's gonna get here, but I'll do my best working on it.
Okay, like I mentioned, this is a solvent-based product, so you do want to protect yourself.
Yes, I'm gonna go grab my spray. Let me set the camera here for now.
I have you right here, sir.
Yeah, oh, look at this guy.
So for the intensive purposes of the video, I'm not gonna have a paint suit on. I'm not gonna wear eye protection at the moment. But if you are doing this at home or you have a bigger job to spray, many people don't think about the eyes. People wear a respirator a lot and they wear a paint suit, but some people don't protect their eyes. Your eyes absorb all these chemicals faster than than your pores and your skin. It goes directly into you. So you definitely want to protect yourself as best you can. Now I'm already starting to feel that Florida heat. So I have a special sweat rag as well in my painter's arsenal that I keep in my pocket and handy. Get one of those as well. So let me just spray one light coat on here. Medium wet, I would say. Don't go too heavy, don't go too light, or you're gonna have some texture there. You wanna just go about medium wet, I would say. Oh. Base. All right. I'm going to move these pieces now as these finished products. I don't want to get any overspray on them. They're looking real good and I want to keep it that way. So those will be okay. We did so many tests. I have quite a bit of samples. Okay, so easy enough. Just spray that on, let that flash. The custom creative, I would give it 20, 30 minutes if you do decide to clear over it, or that is your next step. If you did need to put another coat, just let that flash 7, 10 minutes or so, apply the next coat until you're happy with the result. So now that the black base coat is on here, this will be pretty much the end result. Most of that shine will go away, and it's not going to have that sheen like you're seeing right now. And this is how it will look like once you're done. Okay, we have our primer, we have our base coat. Now the next step in the chrome effects process is clearing it. And I have a finished piece here. This has already been cleared. I cleared it yesterday, so hopefully it's dry. We don't really have a paint oven or a bake booth or anything like that, so we just have to let it air dry. But I'm sure it's fine by now. So, and that's what I would like to mention. The way this effect works, you have to have a good clear coat on top of this product, because what's happening is the chrome is reflecting between the black and that clear coat. That little space in the middle of clear is what's giving that mirror reflection there and allowing you to have that good chrome mirror finish result. So if I was doing this on a bigger project or something larger, not a small mini or a model per se, I would put multiple coats on it, because I feel like, and I don't know if it's exactly true, but I feel like the more coats, the more mirror effect you might get out of it, because you'll have more mils of build from that clear coat, giving you more of a space in between for that mirror effect to happen. So that's essentially what we're trying to do here, and this is how we would go about it. So now I need to clear coat this, and I'll show you how to do that. So most of the time what we use in the shop here, a lot of times we have American Icon, the C800. It mixes, it's a 2-to-1 mixture ratio. Custom Creative has clears as well. They have a satin clear, We have a Euro Clear. There's a few options there as well.
Yeah, we're getting more back as well.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to mix some of this up and show you how to apply the clear. I'm going to try to do it in one coat, but typically for a clear, you'd want to do this in 2, 2.5, 3 coats, I would say, for a nice, good end result look. So this is a 2-to-1 clear. So for this little bit of a speed shape, I just mixed it to the 2-part level there. And then I'll get the hardener. This happens to be a medium today. The difference between medium, fast, or slow is temperatures. You know, in the middle of summer, you probably want to use slow. You know, fall, spring, medium is probably the more common. And in the wintertime, fast. Temperatures, metal, whatever your project might be, you might have to adjust accordingly.
You guys, also just want to say I'm checking here in the back our settings. So the settings for the video we have only subscribers can comment, but it's a minute after subscription. So if you want to add your question or comment, please subscribe, and a minute after you'll be able to use chat, the live chats here on the side of the video.
Okay, so I'll get me another strainer. Typically, I like to use about 2 at a time. Now that the clear is mixed, you don't have to wait either. You can just move right on. Stir it very well. I'll be using the minigun for this also. Speaking of PPE and respirators, protection, things like that. Normally, I would have my respirator on while I'm mixing. Believe it or not, most of the isocyanates and bad chemicals for you, you absorb while you're actually mixing the paint, because you're getting direct contact from all those fumes coming right up out of the can. It's in the air, they're broken down a little bit more, and by that time you're spraying, so you have your respirator on, so you're more protected. But a lot of people don't think about it, but when they're mixing hard chemicals, they should be wearing a respirator as well. So let me apply maybe a coat and a half on here real quick, and we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so there you have it. 1 coat of clear, nice shine, pretty decent luster, not much dry spray or, you know, what do they call it? When you buff, when you have to buff a whole lot. Come on, everyone, I know you know. No, orange peel. So orange peel. To get a nice medium wet coat, you want to go a little bit heavier than you spray your base coat. You don't want to go dry, you know, but you don't want to go too slow, and you don't want to overdo it, or it's going to start to run on you. So here's that end result I showed you earlier. This is that final product of clear. And so this is pretty much ready for the chrome. Now we're getting to the good stuff that everyone's been waiting for. As soon as I find the chrome, here it is. I'm not used to being in this can. So I only have a quart can. So I poured it straight from this can into this bottle using the funnel, because it can be a mess trying to get it out of this can if you don't have the right lid for it.
So just a note, don't store it in this can, because it's a light sensitive product.
Yes, you don't want to keep it in a clear can. You want to use some type of metal container or a dark container, something that doesn't let the light affect it or get to it too long. So the next step in this is spraying directly over the unprepped clear coat that's been cured. Now, of course, the first question that might come up is, well, it's not prepped. Well, Custom Creative has thought of that, and there are etching properties inside this product as well. If you do feel like that might be a little bit of a concern, they recommend using a cotton ball for light micro abrasions, and then just tack rag it off. If you prep something like this or sand it and scuff it, you're going to see that immediately in your chrome effect. So you don't want to do much to it to affect your end result. Now, if you do have imperfections in your clear and little trash bumps or things like that, or sag or run, or it's not smooth enough for you, you do want to wet sand and buff that out, but you need a nice good gloss and sheen to apply this product over to get a nice good result. Anything that is an imperfection or doesn't look good for you is most likely going to amplify and show up on this as well. So now I'll just spray some chrome. I'm going to be using the Segola minigun for this. This one happens to have a HVLP cap, plenty of atomization holes on here. For a minigun, it's a great workhorse. I use it all the time for multiple projects. Even something as small as this, I tend to go right to the minigun. I'm an automotive painter by trade and background, so I'm used to just production, you know, running, moving fast, getting stuff done, not much hobby time involved, you know, so I move right to the minigun, and this will be my tool of choice for today's project. I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 strainers this time for this. Just pour it directly into my gun. And you're all set. I believe I have the settings as far as PSI goes, about 35, just under 40 or so, somewhere like this. I'm gonna spray this. I've done it multiple different ways. My best findings of it was semi-heavy, you know, not hammer it on like you're clear coating something, but generously apply the paint. But you also want to move really fast. You don't want to overlap too much. You don't want to, especially when you're airbrushing, the overlap, this stuff dries so fast, sometimes that overlap will give you a fog on the opposite side that you're spraying. So you want to move quickly, get it done, and let it flash off. You don't want to mess around too long and keep going back and forth and overlapping. If you do feel like you need more material on there, it's better if you just spray the whole thing again really fast, and then maybe get your air blower and flash it off, help it dry off real quick. You don't want to just, oh, I missed the spot here, and just hit that spot. You're probably going to have a little halo or some type of dry spray over a funny looking thing here. So you just want to go over it real quickly again, if that was to happen. So let me grab my respirator again. I'll probably leave it on a little longer this time. Edit that out, Arden. Because this will, I'm spraying at 35 PSI, so this is probably going to be in the booth air, you know, longer than using a minigun or an airbrush or something like that. So not bad. This isn't quite exactly how I want it to look or how it normally would look. I'm gonna try to spray one more coat on top. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier. You typically don't want to overdo it because the more coats, you're not gonna get the reflective part of the clear. And if it doesn't turn out with this second coat, I also know why. And we do have other control samples as well.
I prepared those three. They all cleared with the car wrap. This is another way to have a 2K clear coat if you don't want to get it in the spray gun. Might be convenient for you. And I have three different colors. I have black, dark gray, and gray. I want to see the difference. So I know that's going to be probably looking the best over the black, but we're just curious. I never done it before, so why not experiment and find out? And we also prepared fishing lure guys for you, because I think for the fishing lures,
Oh yeah.
this can be looking really, really nice. We have already something clear coated. We'll just do the whole long of session of the chrome now, just covering it all together.
Yeah, I'm gonna spray multiple pieces, and then I'll also do some explaining of all these pieces as well.
Just watch out when you remove the respirator, it's actually microphone.
Okay. Oh, I'm out. Okay, I've put the chrome effects into the minigun, and now I will spray these little fishing lures as well as this little wargaming mini here as well. Okay, I sprayed multiple pieces pretty quickly. And let's take a look at some of them. This is the piece with the clear on it, similar to what I sprayed earlier. Not really how normally it would come out, and I also found out why. Because this happened to me one time before, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, why is it looking, you know, more of a silver, not quite as chromy as some of these other pieces? Well, the same thing as this apple here. If your clear coat is not fully cured and good and dry, the chrome effects, because of the etching properties, bites into that clear too much. And it goes too far deep down into the clear, and then that's why the reflective property isn't there as well, as good as it should be. So you definitely want to make sure your clear is good and dry, or you'll end up with more of a luster aluminum kind of a look.
I think you can see from camera, I was just showing the difference from the black, darker gray. It's still different. You know how much you can tell it.
I'm not sure about the car wrap. I've only just done our first test yesterday. It very well could be biting into the clear a little bit. It is in an aerosol, so it might not have enough mils to provide that effect. It could still be a little bit wet as well, or it could be etching and biting into it. So this is the shiny black one. This was the dark gray. And, well, this is the black base cleared. And then this is the light gray version. So just a little control experiment about those colors there. And just what happened there live about the different options. So I'm gonna set these aside. Okay, now, these are also car wrap clears, which were also sprayed yesterday. So for me, in my experience playing with this in so many speed shapes, I believe the clear was still just wet and completely not dry yet. So it's definitely not the look I'm going for, and the look I've achieved multiple times using this product. So when you do, what's that?
Do you want to do an adhesion test?
Yeah, sure.
There was a question.
Yeah, so this was a raw product. I can't remember when this was sprayed. It's been quite a while sitting in the shop for some time now. But I just grabbed a piece of duct tape just to see, you know, how that it does hold up very well and stick to the panel, you know, because I know that's a concern for unfinished products, but it seems to be holding up very well. And this has been over quite some time.
Yeah, so there's no clear coat, there's nothing over it.
Yeah, there's no clear, there's no water-based anything on it. That is straight over top the black clear coat, and it's no issues at all. Now, back when we first had this product and made the original video that's been on YouTube for a while, there was a product by Createx that wasn't out yet at the time. So when we made that video and in the tech sheets for the process of chrome effects, we used the Createx 4050, the UVLS gloss, which can also be used as a clear primer. But you mix this, depending on your airbrush, 1:1, and that would be your next step. The UVLS clear with the 4011 reducer, depending on your airbrush, is how you would mix it, typically about 20% or so. Some people go half and half. It just depends and varies on you. But that would be the next step. And the reason for that is, if you go direct to clear, that's when the issues lie, and that's what everyone's concern is about. If you just start clearing this, will be your end result. It's just gonna dull, it's just gonna bite into the chrome, just like how now I did with the other pieces. You know, it just bit into the gloss black and just didn't have enough luster and shine to it. You know, in comparison, You know, this is just what happens. It dulls the chrome effect. So what you want to do, because it's a solvent on top of a solvent, so it's going to eat into what you have going on. So what you want to do is apply a water-based clear. The water-based clear is not aggressive enough to bite into the solvent base and give it that nice layer in between and a protective coat to apply your clear. So this would be the end result if you used the 40-50 over it. Now, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, at the time, only 40-50 was out. Well, since then, Createx has came out with a few other clear coats, and that would be their 40-53. Now, this is their high gloss, and they also have a semi-gloss, a matte, and a satin as well. But since this has came out, I decided, well, let me test this instead. So what I did is I sprayed the 40-53 over it. And to me, it's a much better result than the 40-50. It's not bad, the 40-50, but it just has slightly more luster and shine and mirror effect, in my opinion, than the 40-50 when I look at them side by side. So if it was me, I would definitely use the 40-53 as well. You can also notice the difference if you look at these two shapes that I've candied over. If you look at the one over here, this was using 40-50. This speed shape's kind of been sitting around. You see how it's dusty and hazy in there and just not quite has that good shine to it. This is the 40-53. So to me, it's considerably more glossy and shinier and more chromy looking with a candy applied over it by itself.
I just want to address, there's a comment saying it's not strong enough. I have my finger here reflecting. You can see me in camera only because I like a shadow because I have light behind me. And you see Dan reflecting too. I mean, guys, it's a spray paint product, which is really durable spray paint. I didn't see anything close to it. I've seen the amount of chrome, like the marker, which you cannot do anything. You cannot clear coat it. It's your museum piece kind of chrome, but you cannot actually use it in real time. So again, as Dan mentioned, a couple of things we sprayed there didn't go as planned because the problem, again, we experimented with a clear coat, so it was fresh enough. But those pieces were done properly by us, like testing it over weeks here.
And this is also a 40-53 piece here. I mean, this is a Mandalorian shoulder. Too bright for Mando armor, but you know, it's a great piece to experiment and practice on. This is definitely what I would select as far as my water-based clear goes on top. So these are both 40-53. This is 40-50. And because, you know, we don't just sell all these products here, and we do test a lot of stuff, obviously, so we can share the knowledge and information with you. We have multiple controls. You know, we did the light gray, the black, the medium gray as well. We're doing live videos. Some things didn't turn out for me. But we also did candy right over the chrome effect. No 40-50, no intercoat clear, nothing like that. And this was the result of that. As you can see, it just bit right into the chrome and just, you know, it reactivated it, if you will. And just not a good result at all. You definitely don't want to go solvent to solvent and just move on to that. You want to apply the water-based clear over top of that first. So just to show you what would happen if you use the intercoat clear from Custom Creative, because this is their candy binder, this is their 40-50 or 40-53, if you will. This would be their clear in between your processes and custom painting and stuff like that. It's the AG710. So not recommended over top. In case you are wondering about this gold color, it's the Mayan gold effect. I mixed it 1-to-1. The Mayan gold is typically a lot richer and darker and has more of tangerine, darker kind of look to me. But 1-to-1 over top the chrome, it ended up being a nice gold color like this.
If you want to just repeat the clear steps again. So we got the chrome. We showed every step how we got to the chrome on top of the clear coat. So we're doing 4053 after that, and we're doing 2K clear coats over it.
Yes, I'm going to spray some right now, actually. So that would be the next step. You have your chrome piece. It's ready. It's ready for the next step. And then once it's chromed out, now you can apply the 4053 and not the 4050. If you want to, depending on the effect you're going for. 4053, use quite a bit of reducer there. And like I mentioned, you want to stir this up, let it acclimate, and then spray it in 5 to 10 minutes or so. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to spray it pretty quickly. I just need to give it a good mixing.
Yeah, we try to stay with 45 minutes time frame, but trying to give all the details and advice, so it's going past over an hour again. So let's try to end it soon. But if you guys have any questions, I think we're ready to address a couple of questions there in chat. So let us know.
Yeah, most paint process typically aren't this involved, so normally it wouldn't take so long to show like a demo or explain some things, but in this case, Chrome Effects is quite a bit of steps there. I'll just use a strainer as well, just in case. Now this is also kind of a medium coat. You don't want to go too heavy. It'll be fine if you do, but you want to spray it about medium wet. It will have a blue and hueish tint to it, and that's what I'd like to show you now, is what it looks like. And don't think you messed it up or anything. At first, it will change the color of the chrome, and you're like, oh, it's gone. You know, the effect, what we were looking for is gone. But let it flash, be patient, give it a minute, and it will flash off. And as you can see, the end result there. So. You see that little blue look to it a little bit. Has that hue on there. It's kind of like I mentioned, a little medium wet coat there. So, but once that flashes off, this is the 4053 result there as well. So there's your 4053. We mentioned the 4050, the AG710.
So let me just side by side. So this is 2K clear. This is not so far. So Credex did a pretty good job with the 4053.
Yep.
It's not that far, but if you want this deepest, shiniest, glossiest, you have to put 2K over it.
Yeah, if it's going to be outside or handled a lot, you know, depending on your project or model, you definitely want to protect it some. If you do want that good high sheen like that and reflective, you do need the 2K clear it.
Yeah, but look at this level of chrome. I see the reflection there of the Custom Creative logo. It's a little less than under just water-based, but this is sick. It's like my pipes on my bike, you know, not getting more shinier than that.
And that's pretty much it, folks. Same process with the clear. I used the American Icon for this project, 2-to-1.
Just for fun, then let's end up with spray.
Same of this, you know.
Let's spray this over the 4053. I'm just curious. We're experimenting here.
Okay.
We didn't do this car wrap yet.
Yeah. I actually had planned on doing some fishing lures, but it's such a long process that you know, it's taking up a lot of time. So I went ahead and blacked these out and cleared those out and got them ready. But that was yesterday and just didn't really turn out. So now this is the 2K clear. It mixes inside the can. So there is a clear and a hardener in here as well. So you definitely want to wear your respirator, well ventilated environment.
I'm using it since last week, so it's already been opened
Yeah.
a week ago.
And now we're going to spray over top the Createx colors as well. And don't be scared of that. I know it's a water-based clear. You can clear directly over Createx, or you can clear over the water-based product as well. So let's just give it a look here. Mm-hmm. Now, as you can see, as it's flashing off, it does have a little bit of a cloudy look, but once that's cured, it does go away as well. I have sprayed it on a few other small pieces, and it has looked pretty good. You can see it's already starting to flash back off, and hasn't really affected the color much, or the chrome effect, in my opinion. So, pretty nice. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Check out all the other custom creative products they have, many special effects colors. They also have flakes, pinstripe and paints. We have a little bit of copper leafing as well, and some color changing. What do they call those? The chameleons, things like that as well. Reach out with any questions you might have. I appreciate everyone watching. Check us out at our sales inbox. And
thank you so much. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna grab the microphone for a second. I appreciate you all joining us again. Sorry we are taking over an hour again, but we're trying to get all the details and show every step and every mistake. Sometimes we're gonna make the mistakes and learn from them. That's exactly how it goes in live videos, and that's why I kind of like this format. You know, I'm getting in love with this format actually. Nothing is perfect in anywhere in life, and especially when you're working in a multi-layer painting. So you gotta understand what's going on and how to fix it and how to make the adjustments. But again, pre-order 20 is the code if you want to get the chrome pre-orders. We are working on getting it. Already placed an order for this. The restocking is on the way, and the same for minigun. So our no-name minigun is going to work with the pre-order 20. And next week we're scheduling, going to put it on the schedule soon. We're going to be doing the Goblin's Hut with Yuli. Yuli is our like the figure painter, scale modeler. He's going to be showing, it supplies to scale models and I would say prop making, cosplay, all things like this. They have really cool effects like rust and gore and other things from the Goblin's Hut, so you kind of make natural kind of aged looks. He's going to be showing us all about it. So join us next week for those things. And I'm also going to showcase a couple of new products which already arrived, but I didn't have time to prepare them yet. So next we'll be doing this. And we'll try to keep it 45 minutes. It's easier process, so we'll try to make it shorter. Anyways, appreciate you all. Thank